The long white sandy beaches in Napoli on the Myanmar coast are normally quiet this time of year. The rains haven't quite finished and many hotels only opened for the summer season a few days ago, ready for what they were hoping would be a busy few months. But last week, anti-Muslim violence that has affected northern Rakhine state moved south. 6 Muslims were killed and dozens of houses burnt to the ground just a few miles from the beach. Now a curfew first put in place in April has been extended, restricting movement between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m.
We are worried because of what happened. Last year, only at the end of the season in April was a restriction order and curfew imposed, so it didn't affect us too much. This is now the beginning of the season, so it will impact us a lot more than it has done so far.
For years, Myanmar was shut off to all but the most intrepid of tourists, as the country is ruled by a brutal military government. Now it is opening up and more people are coming to visit. The president, Sein, visited the affected areas after the first day of violence, but further rioting broke out whilst he was there. In a meeting with local hotel owners, he tried to reassure them his security forces had the situation under control.
This region needs stability because tourists need to check the area is stable before they come here. The other regions that I've visited have more tourists than they used to.
Napoli is still safe to travel to, according to the British Foreign Office, but tourists should fly direct to nearby Thein and not leave the resort. And the violence over the last few months hasn't put off those seeking some sun.
I saw that on the news. I was a bit worried at the beginning, but it snowed like 3 or 4 months ago, so I think it was okay to come here and would be safe anyway. No, doesn't bother me that much.
The violence does not seem to have affected the country's burgeoning tourism industry yet, but if the unrest continues long term, many fear it could keep visitors away, with remote areas like Napoli being the most vulnerable.